I want to show y'all something now, right? Let me show you something. Now, right here, I'm looking at a property. It's 5138 Garland. It's part of the Own It Now program, right? You see what I'm looking at, right? $1,000. But you bid on that. It's an auction, right? Like this one here, 15366 Patton. Now this is rehab ready, meaning this was already done. All the work was already done on this property. And you can buy it and you can move in. Kenny Green, raw perspective, concrete and steel, keeping it good and raw. And people be informed, like, man, unity for the community. You know, last few weeks I've been putting out a couple of Detroit videos, letting you see how it's going down, different things that I'm doing. And I've been getting little comments and responses and questions, which really I enjoy the engagement, because when I could share and teach something and someone can teach me something, it's a beautiful thing. And somebody was asking me, you know, different ways to acquire properties in Detroit, and they mentioned something about the land bank. Right now, I'm familiar with the land bank. The land bank is like a storage place for a lot of properties that maybe people didn't pay their taxes on, dilapidated, people walked away, and some that were just rehab, some that people lost. And what they have is different programs that you can participate in. Like, for example, right, the land bank has something called rehab ready, meaning it was in the bank, someone rehabbed it, maybe they lost it, different things happened. So you can get a property from the land bank that's fully renovated. Then they have properties that what you may call Own It Now, right? And some of this is you can say, okay, this house is $1,000. The bid of an auction will start at $1,000 and then go up, but it's not going to go up but so much. And it may be in need of a total rehab, a total renovation, right? And one thing with the land bank too, you don't just buy the house for $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, $15,000. What there are is criterias. They want to know and see if you have the money to rehab the property, right? So they're going to want to see bank statements, credit cards, where are you going to get the money from for this endeavor? Because part of the land bank, the authority of the land bank, what they want to do is bring some of the properties back up to their normal greatness, right? They're trying to prevent dilapidation on a massive scale, because that's kind of like what happened in Detroit. And Detroit is now fighting to change that face and change that image. So also they have like say you have a property, right? And the lot next to you is available. You can probably buy that lot for $500 and have the full use and control of that lot. So there's different programs and things that the land bank offers that you may not really see nowhere else. And a lot of times we have to go outside of our circumference and maybe take advantage of something else. So this is why I like sharing it, because, you know, it's not really common. Me being from New York, and you see the structures and you see how everything is expensive, and you can live. There's people that have to really think now about their next move, as far as renting, owning. They might not want to leave the state they're in, but they might can have a better financial stability in their life if they move a little while, build some equity in something, and then double back to where they came from. So it's different ways to look at it. Now, let me say this. I've had a property and I've dealt with the land bank, right? And in the beginning, I felt like, you know, these agencies, you're going to get the runaround. They're going to try to take your property from you or whatever. But it wasn't as strenuous as I may have thought. You're required to maybe give progress reports on how the property is moving forward as far as renovation and completion. Another thing I will mention, usually they give you 6 months, 180 days to bring a property from one state to the completion of the other. And part of the completion is having the utilities turned on. Gas, electric, water. They need those to be turned on to prove and show that this property is functioning and it has the systems up and ready and are in use. That's part of what the land bank is. To get it from a shell, you go through the process, you let them see that you're spending money because you can send your receipts and you send them pictures of your progress. It's not as difficult as it seems. And sometimes you have to jump in. And you see, it may flow a lot easier than you think, but you have to get in. That's the number one thing. So Detroit is not the only city that offers different things, because where you come from, you know that city. If you move around, you might learn something about another city. So just, man, all I'm saying is in this time, the world's gotten smaller through internet, through information and everything. And sometimes we have to move around. We have to move around, and we might could get to it a little quicker than standing still. Concrete and steel. Check it out. Like sharing with y'all.